Hello, I'm Trace.
And I'm Sam.
And we're both pretty vulnerable this week. And this is From Our Perspective. So I want to start off. I have this burning question for you that I've been thinking about for a couple of days now.
Okay.
So I guess I'll pose it in like a different way than I've been thinking about it.
Is this like a philosophical thing or like
No, it's not very philosophical at all.
Okay.
So if there were like one animal that you would think could take on all of humanity and win, what animal do you think it would be?
What kind of question is this?
I have the answer. There is a right or wrong to this. I just want to let you know.
An animal that could take on humanity.
Yeah.
And win.
Yeah, and specifically win. There have been a couple of movies about this, I will say, because there is a right answer.
I can't think of any.
Just come on. If you can't think of one, just give me one.
I was just thinking like spiders or something. If there were just like a bunch of them.
Creepy crawlies. I'll give you one more guess. It's not any type of insect. You can be very general with it as well.
All animals.
Nope, not that general.
Oh man, I was hoping to rig the system. Birds.
You got it. That's the right answer. Birds.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Okay, what do you
just
think?
Shoot the birds.
Okay, here's the thing. Yes, but there's a lot of birds. Have you ever thought about how many birds there actually are?
I mean,
there's a lot. Now,
not a long time. I haven't thought about it hard.
I want to pose you this. You said just shoot the birds.
Yeah.
Do you recall the emu wars in Australia? You know, they just tried to shoot the birds and they still lost.
Well.
So, here's the reasoning. Yes, you could probably like shoot the doves and the pigeons, but there's lots, okay? There's lots of birds.
We have militaries.
So, here's
50 caliber machine guns would kill an ostrich.
Maybe not wipe out humanity, but the general population could be taken out. Here's I guess what I've been thinking. Have you ever tried to punch a bird?
No, I actually haven't.
Now I want you to think about.
Hold on, have you?
Since I thought of this question, yes, I have, and
you're horrible.
I've thought about how hard it would be to actually punch a bird.
I want to imagine you like you're on your lunch break at work or something, and you walk out like to the back to get some fresh air, and you see like a pigeon on the ground. Like,
there's a lot of geese out by where I work.
Don't fight a geese.
Don't fight a geese.
Don't fight a gooses.
Okay, why shouldn't I fight a goose?
They'll attack you.
Precisely. You have fallen into my line of thinking.
No, I could kill a goose if I wanted to, but I don't want to.
Why?
Okay, do you want to kill geese? Are you
if they ever attack us?
Well, yeah. I'm just, oh my god. I'm saying if you tried to punch a goose, you're a piece of shit, I guess.
But it would just kind of like fly up above you and then attack. Here's the thing. I feel like all birds outnumber humans.
Weren't we going to talk about the movie we watched?
Well, I wanted to ask you that question, and I wanted to pose the question.
Okay,
have you ever thought about how hard it would be to punch a bird? That's basically what I was thinking.
So all of this was coming to, have you thought about how hard it is to punch a bird?
Yeah. I mean...
Okay. I mean, yeah, it would be hard.
Okay.
That's why flying type resists fighting type.
Ah, yes. Even the Japanese agree with me. Birds are superior to man. Well, basically what I'm saying is if birds ever get wised up to how we treat their brethren, they're gonna be after us. And
okay, what about spiders? What's wrong with spiders? They're poisonous. They're little.
Step on them.
They get you while you're sleeping.
All right. Well, they're casualties of war. Step on them though.
Yes. Well.
Have you ever tried to... Here's another question. Have you ever tried to step on a bird?
No, I haven't.
I didn't think so. Buzza.
Believe it or not, I'm not like thinking of bird violence all the time like you.
Well, you're going to be the first to go, and I'll have to continue on without you after I win against birds single-handedly.
All by yourself.
With my super long arms that are especially good for bird punching.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. We went and saw a movie together after I'm done with this stupid question. We went and saw Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay, two things.
Yeah?
One, there are no stupid questions, Trace.
That's what my teacher told me after I asked a dumb question. Or before, and then she said, well, there is one stupid question. That's a funny joke. I'm probably going to cut this part out because I'm not being good.
Now you have to. Good job.
I'm not being a good podcast boy.
Okay, we saw Kazam. Except we didn't because we saw Shazam.
We saw Shazam.
Shazubi.
Shazoop. Shabilly. Do we want to be funny or do we want to be genuine?
I think we should be genuine and tell people what we thought of it.
Okay.
And it was. What did you think?
I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was a very good superhero movie. It was definitely the best DC movie that has come out in a very long time.
I'd agree with that.
I will say it is a little confusing at first.
Yeah, I was...
I remember...
I didn't know what the hell was happening.
Sam continuously turned to me and said, what is going on in this movie?
Well, the editing was just kind of strange too.
It was just kind of jumpy. I thought it did a very good job of setting up everything, though.
Well, yeah, and it's kind of a crazy concept. So.
It is. I mean, Magic Wizard gives
Shazam.
Magic Shazam Wizard gives a little boy powers. I thought it was very good.
Why didn't he pick like Superman?
Yeah, you think?
And then he'd be like unkillable.
Oh my! Well, he would just. Well, he would
Well,
basically.
he probably knew that Superman wasn't pure of heart because he like killed like so many people.
He killed
collateral
General
damage,
Zod.
But he snapped his neck.
He snapped his big old neck. Just imagine Superman.
Let's not talk about those bad movies.
Well, just imagine Superman with lightning powers. That would be terrifying.
He's shooting lightning out of his hands.
All
and
the powers
out of his eyes.
All the powers and he's blowing really cold breath.
Freeze breath. Yeah. God, how come they never show that one?
Because it's so fucking ridiculous.
It's so fun though. That could be so much fun.
I have freeze breath. Be careful, it's a little chilly outside.
It's a little chilly. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
The Ice Age. Superman with his freeze breath.
Yes.
It was
back to Shazam. What happened?
I don't know. It was a really good movie about a boy getting magic powers.
Yes.
And a bad guy who constantly puts on and takes off glasses.
Yes, that was so much.
So
he does that so many times in the movie.
If you see the trailer for Shazam, you know that the bad guy has a glowing blue eye. But the thing is like every time he's on screen, they do a dramatic reveal like it's the first time you realize that he has a blue eye. So like it's there was one part at like the very end of the movie where he does it, and I'm like, we know he has a blue eye. We get it. And then me and Sam start like fake taking off glasses, like every fucking scene at the end.
Every time I see him, I think it. So
it's. There were very little things that I was just like, why is this the way it is? I guess we'll do like a spoiler-free review so we don't like.
Well, how about we get into spoilers in a little bit, and we'll warn everyone.
Yeah, we'll just do a spoiler alert.
Spoilers. Just kidding.
No. It's a good movie. It kind of a lot of people have been saying it like reminds them of like E.T. and old Spielberg movies and stuff like that.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, it's kind of like a coming of age story, all about family. Yeah, I don't think I agree with that either. Now that I'm talking about
it,
I
don't agree with that at all. It's not nearly that good.
Yeah. It was very good though. I think I really enjoyed it.
I will agree with him. It was the best DC movie I've seen in a while.
Yeah. They're getting closer to the Marvel formula, I will say.
No, it's because they're starting to copy it finally.
Yeah, they're starting to get there.
And just kind of accept that we just want to go have fun at a movie.
Yeah, they saw what they did with Aquaman. They were like, this is close, but we can get closer. And then they did, but they're still not there yet.
They were like, let's dial down the schlock.
Yeah, all those big explode. What definitely like reminded me, or what I was thinking about while watching the movie, I was like, they spent all their fucking money on Aquaman, and then they were just like, here's like $3 and a piece of lint from my pocket, go make Shazam. Like, it wasn't bad effects or anything. It was just like the climax takes place in a carnival.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Well, nothing's wrong with it. It's just like the last move, Aquaman's climax is like this big fucking undersea battle with like shrimp people and like seahorses and Jason Momoa being all hot.
I think that shows that that's a problem, that they do need to scale back their scale sometimes, because you can only save the world so many times.
Yeah, you can only stop
you can only blow up Grand Central Station so many
times until Batman gets mad at Superman. But it was good. I guess we'll dive into spoilers a little bit. It doesn't really, I mean, it's a superhero movie. Shazam wins.
What? No.
So there's this whole thing that's kind of terrifying about this movie. It's the fact that the bad guy is powered by the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah, it's
and it's
I don't know if is that in, I don't read comics. Is that actually a villain of Shazam's?
I would imagine so. I'm not very familiar with Shazam specifically. I know the basics.
I personally was very disappointed by the 7 deadly sins.
Well, they were terrifying though.
Well, they were pretty scary looking
because they were represented by actual demons, and they weren't just like metaphorical. They were
with glowing red eyes, massive jaws and claws and teeth and multiple arms,
and like eat people and like have big old bellies that open up very wide and chase after a girl. It was quite terrifying in many parts. There's the part.
I think you had told me before we went and saw the movie that people were getting upset because it was advertised as like a family film.
It seemed to be.
And then a guy, no joke, a guy gets his head eaten by a demon in this movie.
Yeah, and people were mad because their kids were leaving the theater crying. Which I don't
blame them. I personally laughed really hard in that scene because I was like, "What is happening?"
So since we're in the spoiler part, the bad guy is like, he's bad because his daddy didn't like him. He had daddy issues. So when he gets the power of the 7 deadly sins, he goes and kills his brother and father at a board meeting.
It's messed up.
And a lady like disintegrates earlier in the movie.
I just want to put it in perspective. And then like the next scene is Shazam and like his brother doing like superhero tests. Like he sets him on fire, and it's like ha ha ha.
This is
comedy.
Funny. Remember 2 seconds ago when the demon Greed ate someone's dad? Remember that? Remember when the bad guy threw his own brother out of a skyscraper?
Yeah.
Remember that part? Now here's Shazam doing the floss dance.
Yes.
It was kind of good contrast because it made sense. It's a 14-year-old boy with the powers of a wizard.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know what else I kind of want to talk about the movie. I think
I have one more thing. Yeah. They were talking about one of the his brother in the movie.
The crippled one?
He's kind of obsessed with. He's like a fan of superheroes.
Oh yeah.
And so he was like,
I know where
this is like showing him. He was like showing him a Batarang, the main character Billy. He was showing him a Batarang, and he was like, "It's a replica." And he said, "This is a," and then he pulled out a bullet, And he said, "This is a bullet that hit Superman." And I stopped for a second. I was like, "Oh yeah, they're real.
Superheroes are real.
Superheroes are real
in this universe."
And I'd completely forgotten, because it was like, up to this point, there had been the opening with magical stuff, but then it kind of like stopped for a little while, and it was just kind of a foster kid film. And I was like, and then it just kind of came out of nowhere, and I was like, what?
It was very funny to hear Sam's realization of of the fact that this took place in the DCEU.
It's just so weird.
I guess it was very interesting to see like part of the universe where superheroes are superheroes, and not from like the first half of the movie is not from like a superhero's perspective. You're not seeing like Batman do Batman things and then cut into the villain. It's kids doing kid stuff, and then a villain kills his family. Because there's like merchandise.
Yeah,
which is...
And it's like so bizarre, and it's
like there's a school scene, and then there's like a little girl in a Batman backpack running around outside, and you're just like, oh yeah.
She has a backpack with a vigilante's like symbol on it.
That, like, imagine if I just like was walking around. That'd be like having the
V for Vendetta guy mask on your backpack going to middle school. Which I'm sure people did that.
Yeah, people probably did that. That was a good movie.
But
It was good. I mean, it was an interesting look to see that kind of side of the universe.
I just think it would be absolutely horrifying to live in a world where superheroes were real.
And then the demons were everywhere.
And then demons were real.
And then demons were there too. And then wizards too?
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
I like how the DC Extended Universe is... I mean, the same with the Marvel Universe. It's just like, here's a man who's like regular but is rich and does stuff. Batman, Iron Man. And then here's like this all-powerful godlike creature, Superman, Thor. And then wizards are real?
Wizards?
Wizards are real. Doctor Strange and Shazam. Strange.
But he's not like a wizard. He's
but I'm talking about like Shazam, the wizard, not like Billy Batson Shazam, not Shabilly.
Yeah. Not the champion.
Not the champion. Not what do they call him? Sparkle Fingers?
Captain Sparkle Fingers.
Captain Sparkle Fingers.
I think that's the best name.
That would have been a better movie title.
Yes.
Anyway, that was Shazam.
Anyway,
it was pretty
that's Shazam. And this has been our show.
Show. That's it.
How many times can we make that joke?
I think we've done it 3 times consecutively. Someone check my math on that.
I think we have to shut the podcast down if we do it again. But we're going to get into the main topic now.
Let's hop over to the main topic. I clicked my Google Chrome, and then there's a old lady ad right here telling me about flight prices. It's not what I want. Get out of my
useful.
face. So I'm taking the lead on this episode, and we are going to talk about possibly the craziest people who have ever run for president of these United States.
I was very excited when he told me about this.
Yeah. I've been racking my brain, and I finally thought of it because I remembered one specific man.
Yes.
One man reminded me of how insane these people are who have actually been presidential candidates.
Yes.
Maybe they don't hit the main bill, but they're technically candidates.
I think he did fairly well. I mean, for
the one man who name. Yeah, the one man who reminded me of it. He actually like did decent as you would, or more decent than you would expect him to.
And without further ado, his name is...
Without further ado, the man who made me think of all of this is Vermin Love Supreme, or Vermin Supreme.
Vermin Supreme.
He's the guy who wears a boot on his head. If you know that guy, he's got a big old bushy beard, and he has a big old rubber boot right on top of his head.
Yeah, right on his head. It's pretty interesting looking. It's an interesting fashion statement.
And I mean, he wears a bunch of different things. Like, there's one image where he seems to have like clown wigs on his shoulders of the jacket he's wearing. And then there's another one where he's wearing so many layers, so many ties, and he's carrying a giant toothbrush. But he always has that big old boot on his head. I think
Yes.
it's the same one.
Most likely, it's his magic boot.
It's his call sign. That's what they
Yeah.
shine in the sky when they
Yeah,
want
it's
Vermin
a-
Supreme to
a
show up.
boot.
A big old upside down boot. So Vermin Supreme is a performance artist and an all around weirdo. This comes from Thrillist.com.
That is not our opinion.
Yeah, this is not our opinion. He's a cool guy. And an all-around weirdo who's known to walk around with a boot on his head whilst carrying an enormous toothbrush. Okay, so the toothbrush is also a staple of his look, I guess.
Why would somebody named Vermin Supreme carry a toothbrush?
Let me ask you a better question, Sam. Why wouldn't a man named Vermin Supreme carry a large toothbrush?
Because vermin gives a dirty vibe.
But his name is
Toothbrushes are a
Vermin
clean
Love
thing.
Supreme. He sounds like a dirty man all around.
Maybe he's just trying to bring some cleanliness into the world with his giant toothbrush.
With his big old toothbrush and his rubber boot.
Yes.
Of the many killer promises he's planned, if elected, the ones that stand out the most involve a law requiring everyone in America to brush their teeth. Okay.
I think I remember one.
What?
I think he wanted to give everybody a free pony.
Yep. A
The free pony- is it the
to
free pony
everyone in
pledge?
the nation. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Research devoted to the concept of time travel and and zombie apocalypse awareness.
Okay. Hey,
He has a website,
dental hygiene's important.
and so are ponies.
And ponies.
So are ponies.
I think he's trying to fix our...
Healthcare system,
like-
obviously.
well, I was more going to say...
with a pony
like,
and a toothbrush.
our like carbon emissions with ponies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could be it. Yep. That's something else. He says he wants to research time travel so he could go back in time and kill Adolf Hitler. Which,
Okay,
I mean,
well.
he seems like a pretty good guy.
I mean, he's pretty bold to think that he'd be able to.
Well, with that big toothbrush and that big old boot on his head. Here's the thing: if time travel were real,
Do you think somebody would have?
This man would have already killed Hitler.
Yeah.
Because someone in the future, some absolute mad lad in the future, would have traveled back to give him a time machine.
You think so?
Well, if I had time travel, I would.
Well, let's write it down, and then we'll know.
Yeah. If tomorrow, or whenever you're listening to this, because it's going to be a couple of days. If whenever you're listening to this, Hitler goes from have fought through all of World War II to dead before World War II, then you will know me and Sam have succeeded in this mission.
Now, are we going to get into how time travel works?
Not in this episode.
Okay, because I was going to say, are you sure you wouldn't start like... Maybe that did happen, but that's
Maybe
like timeline B.
Yeah, maybe.
We're in timeline A,
Yeah, possibly.
where Hitler did exist and did horrible things.
Yeah, and we didn't manage to let Vermin Love Supreme kill him
Yes.
with his toothbrush. In a press conference after filing his official paperwork for the New Hampshire presidential primary ballot, he said, "Together, my friends, we will ride our ponies into a zombie-powered future." So, if that doesn't sum up his whole existence, I don't know what will.
I think that's a campaign slogan I can get behind.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
Certainly better than Jeb.
He is a better candidate than Jeb Bush because he's interesting.
I think a Rock is. I think The Rock is.
The Rock. Now, I've heard he is actually thinking about running for president, and I'm terrified.
He would absolutely win. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah. Do you think his campaign slogan is, "Now I know what I'm cooking"? Or something along those lines.
And it's democracy.
It's democracy. I'm cooking democracy. Can you smell the democracy I'm cooking?
Can you smell the freedom and liberty and justice for all?
Let's hop on to the next person before I keep talking
I
about The Rock.
I kind of really want The Rock to run for president now.
He's mentioned it. Okay, let's jump to a different celebrity who's run for president a couple of times.
Okay.
I think.
Ronald
let's
Reagan.
talk about Roseanne Barr.
She ran for president?
Of course.
I didn't know that.
There have been plenty of celebrities who've attempted to run for president, but Roseanne Barr got as far as filing with the Federal Election Commission in 2012 under the Green Tea Party ticket. Barr's candidacy promoted mental health and meditation, but also promoted to send Wall Street bankers to re-education camps, and by executing and beheading. What?
Hold on, what? Okay, hold on.
Send Wall Street bankers to re-education camps and to be executed and beheaded. Okay. So,
if I've got to vote for Vermin Supreme or Roseanne Barr, I'm definitely voting Vermin Supreme right now.
Well, he just seems like the all-around nicer candidate. He's not talking about beheading
murder.
Well, he is talking about murdering Hitler.
Well,
but still, it is Hitler over Wall Street bankers.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's just, I mean, there's nothing else to be said about her candidacy. But, I mean, I guess that's decently far. I don't know where the Federal Election Commission, how far along in the process
I don't know. We should sign up. We should run for...
Well,
we can't.
Yeah, we're not.
Well, we can't.
We can't. There was a book I read in elementary school called Kid President.
You mean like the one that was on YouTube?
No, not little Obama. It was like
I'm pretty sure he called himself Kid President.
Well, he did, but I know, but he was like little Obama, but he was like really cute and hilarious, and I loved him so much. That was more my middle school years, though. In elementary school, there was a book I read called Kid President, and it was like the Supreme, or there was an amendment passed to let any person run for president, and this kid gets elected. That's all I remember. He was like actual president. He was like actual president, not just a YouTube star.
What if he turned like into a tyrant and he like started
beheading people who didn't watch SpongeBob?
He's like, let's bring back the guillotine.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Bring back the.
Whatever happened? Whatever happened to the guillotine? Am I right, guys?
Am I right? And then like, it's kind of
French Revolution went really well.
Yeah, it's kind of like it redoes the French Revolution where he starts killing people and eventually he gets beheaded.
And then a little tiny,
even smaller dictator. rises to power.
A little kid, Napoleon.
Kid President, Kid Napoleon. Can we make a book series all about kid versions of
child tyrants?
Child
or emperors.
It'll be called something along the lines.
Little Caesars.
Little Caesars. That's a good one. There's the scene where little Brutus goes to stab Little Caesar, and he says, "Et tu, little Brutus." This is what we have to call it: lil dictators or lil tyrants. LIL apostrophe
yes.
Tyrants.
I kind of like.
That's the book series name.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Anyway,
how do we get
presidents.
So
am I right?
Topic.
Well, that's just how. That's how it flows, man. You just gotta go with the flow.
Do you want to hear about possibly my most favorite presidential candidate that has ever run?
Yes.
You want to hear about Mike Gravel?
Mike Gravel?
Mike Gravel.
Okay.
Alaskan Senator Mike Gravel gained fame through a series of bizarre and super unsettling election videos during the election of 2008. Oh, no. One involves a stone-faced Gravel staring into a camera, and and then he throws a huge rock into a lake. The other is literally 7 minutes of a crackling fire.
What is that?
Imagine if Barack Obama in 2008 would have got beaten by Alaskans. Mike
President Gravel.
There's a timeline where that happened.
Yeah, we're in A timeline.
Oh,
That's.
What if we're in B
Timeline
timeline
F.
and Mike Gravel was supposed to win?
Oh my god.
I
I was
think
gonna say
it.
that's like timeline F20.
I
That's
don't
how
think
unlikely
so.
it is.
I don't think so. Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
I love that.
Goodness. Okay.
Any others? I feel
Yeah.
like there's got to be like a ton.
Yeah, there's a lot. Some of them are like actually insane.
Great.
This one is a punk musician by the name of Jello Biafra.
Interesting.
The picture that they chose for the for this website I'm on right now is him screaming into a mic, and either bleeding from the face or bleeding from the hand, and has touched either his hand or his face.
Oh.
The punk band he's in, the frontman for, is called the Dead Kennedys. He attempted, Mr. President Jello attempted to become the Green Party candidate in 2000, but lost to one Ralph Nader.
Oh, that's really boring. That he. So okay, there was actually like, so it was like, okay, you can either vote for Ralph Nader, or you can vote for this guy.
Fucking Jello Biafra. I don't think I'll ever get his last name right, but I'm just gonna keep pronouncing it how I think it needs to be. Now,
The irony is not lost on me of him running for president and his band being named the Dead Kennedys.
The Dead Kennedys. That's my favorite Robin Williams movie. Oh no, that's the Dead Poets Society.
That's a stretch, bud.
That was a good one. What if I
That's
tell
a good
you,
movie.
What if I
That's a good
told
movie.
you that his running mate was a death row inmate, Muma Abu Jamal?
I would believe you, but that would be crazy.
Yep. Well, I'm glad you believe me because that's what happened.
Yeah.
Apparently, he promised to enact a maximum wage, abolish the military, withdraw from NAFTA and the World Trade Organization, and lower the voting age to 5.
Hey, we're getting closer to the Little Tyrants.
We're getting closer to Little Tyrants. Is that like a Little Rascals bunch of kids who are just all like old tyrants of the past?
I imagine the Stalin one would still have a mustache.
Of course he would. Of course he would. What kind of crazy thing do you think we're running where Stalin wouldn't have a little mustache on his little tyrant body?
Little Mussolini.
Now, would little Hitler have a little Hitler stash?
Obviously.
Obviously.
Because he wouldn't really look like Hitler without it.
Oh, yeah. He also planned to end the war on drugs by legalizing basically every drug from...
That you know what?
Yeah?
That would end it.
That would end it. Imagine just being like, this war on drugs is bad, but now it's over because everything is legal now. Every drug from marijuana to heroin.
Great.
In a Jello-run nation, slumlords would be sentenced to live in their own buildings, and polluters would be forced to inhale and swim in the mess they've made until they clean it up.
Interesting.
So, I guess he has some good intentions.
I don't know about that, but
Mr. Jello, you have my vote.
I don't know. I'm still voting for Vermin Supreme at this point.
Well, me too. I forgot that we were kind of going through all of them still. We next have a man titled A Friend of Extraterrestrials. His name is Gabriel Green.
Sounds like a superhero. Like their alter ego.
If you ever wanted a presidential candidate who is skilled in the art of negotiating with extraterrestrials, then Gabriel Green is your man.
Great. This is one of the crazy ones, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. He's probably insane. Green founded the L.A. Interplanetary Study Group in 1956 and worked to promote interplanetary messages and music. He was a regular speaker at flying saucer events and published a national newsletter imploring space people to reach out and make contact with humans.
Hold on. Whoa, he made a newsletter?
Yeah, encouraging space people. He made a LA newsletter that was sent out to LA encouraging space people.
Hey, do you know where LA is?
In space.
Not in outer space.
Oh.
It's not. It's
Is it
on
not?
Earth.
I thought, okay, I was always so confused about the geography of LA. I thought it was in the middle of space, like that fucking diner from Spaceballs. It's just a floating platform in space. During the 1960 and 1972 elections, Green ran as "You Right in Space Age Candidate," or "You're Right in Space Age Candidate." If elected, he planned to disclose the existence of extraterrestrials and help humans benefit from the knowledge that they can impart to mankind.
Okay, I just want to paint a scenario. He gets elected, and he gets in there, and he's like, "Give me all the documents," and they're like, "Sir, aliens, they haven't been here."
It hasn't happened. Like,
what do you think he would do? Do you think he'd lie, or do you think he would?
He'd probably say that there's a conspiracy.
He's the president.
So, you think they tell the president everything?
I don't know.
I doubt it. I mean, like, it's he would either.
I think if the
pressure
president
him.
asks for, are aliens real? I think they would tell him.
I don't know. I mean, you got to think back to the whole Jimmy Carter thing. I want them to disclose everything, and then he's president, and then he's like, never mind. I'm a retract that statement.
Well, he certainly didn't help with making it less suspicious. Anyways,
very suspicious.
This guy should not be president.
I'm still going with my boy Vermin.
My boy Vermin.
Now I might have someone who you think deserves this presidency a little better.
Okay.
This is Jonathan Albert Sharkey. Do you want to know what his nickname is?
Yeah.
The Impaler. Now, Jonathan Sharkey is a former wrestler and a self-proclaimed vampire.
Why do you think I want this guy to be president?
Because you should see this picture of him. He has a dapper mustache and a little bitty soul patch right under his chin. He's got long flowing black hair. He's a little overweight and he's holding a katana. Now, if that doesn't
What are you saying about me?
If that doesn't yell presidential material, then I don't know what does. He's also got like a cape, leather armor, and some pretty sick gauntlets on.
Some sick gauntlets, man.
This former wrestler and 2012 presidential candidate is a self-described vampire who only drinks the blood of women. Because women are beautiful. They have such beautiful necks and arms.
Sexist.
Men can be beautiful too.
Yeah, that's right.
He's also tasty blood. He's also a practicing pagan.
I'll tell you what, my blood's delicious.
My blood is delicious. I also have a beautiful neck and arms. He's a practicing pagan, though he claims to have no issues with any religion. For justice reform...
Like, I ain't got no beef.
I ain't got no beef.
He's got no beef.
Okay, now he's got a really cool thing, so I need you to let me get to it.
Okay, get to it. I'm sorry.
For justice reform, he ran on a platform of instituting torture and impaling for criminals. He said former President George H.W. Bush was a wuss. He was a wuss. Probably because of his strict no impalement policy. In case you missed out on voting for him previously, don't worry. He plans to run again in 2020.
Oh my god.
Now, I would imagine he's a write-in. Do you write the Impaler?
Or I think you read his name.
Do you... I mean, I don't know. I feel like he should be called President Impaler. President the Impaler.
I think it should be his name with like just the Impaler after it.
Jonathan Albert Sharkey. He spells his name
not the whole thing. Like how it's Vladimir or Vlad the Impaler.
Well, John the Impaler. John the Impaler Sharkey.
Sounds a lot worse than Vlad.
Yeah, Vlad's scary and kind of like intriguing. John the Impaler sounds like
sounds like the main character from Garfield. The guy.
Garfield?
I get the Garfield's the main character of Garfield. I meant the guy is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, John.
Don't correct me.
So this man, James Trafficant, was a convicted felon.
Can he run for president then?
I guess. Anyone who voted for James in 1988 was actually voting for a real-life criminal. The former member of the House of Representatives of Ohio was expelled and convicted of taking bribes, filing false tax returns, and forcing his co-workers to clean his houseboat. I was getting a little worried. And then it was just clean my houseboat.
Clean my houseboat.
He served 7 years in jail and was released in 2009. After imparting his wisdom at the Tea Party protest, he was killed in a 2014 farm accident. Conspiracy?
Oh, no.
I think so.
Oh, no.
Let's see.
Well, we can't vote for him, so.
Let's see. This is John G. Schmitz.
How many different Johns are running for president?
The next one I'm going to read about is John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
His name is my name, too, so.
Whenever he goes out.
Okay, we're not doing that.
Yeah. California Congressman John G. Schmitz. Ever call someone a wingnut? The phrase was invented to describe this kooky candidate. John G. Schmitz, the congressman from California.
Who wrote this?
I think John G. Schmitz probably wrote it.
Good job, John.
Good job, John. John G. Schmitz, the congressman from California, ran on the American Independent Party ticket in 1972 against the incumbent Richard Nixon. He managed to secure 10% of the Idaho vote and even beat Democratic candidate George McGovern. Wait,
Shit.
I feel like I've heard of this dude.
What did he do? Can I know?
Well, I don't really know what all he has done.
If he's just a third-party candidate, that's not very exciting.
I don't know. Let me see. I'm gonna keep reading. He was an ardent anti-communist and took strong stances in favor of states' rights and against abortion. Schmidt's crazy quotes are destined to live in infamy. Speaking of President Nixon's trip to China, Schmitz reportedly said, "I have no objection to President Nixon going to China. I just object to his coming back." His political career went down in flames after it was discovered he was having an affair. But that wasn't even the most famous scandal in the family.
The plot thickens.
One of his daughters, schoolteacher Mary Kay Latourne, went to prison for a act with one of her students, for a sexual act with one of her students. Yeah, he was just a dude. Why is he included?
Yeah, why is he on this list with like Vermin Supreme and the Impaler
and John the Impaler?
John the Impaler.
Yeah, or Jello. Don't forget Jello.
Don't forget Jello.
Oh,
voting age of 5, everybody. Let's get it.
I forgot about that. A voting age of 5.
That was my favorite thing.
This man is a disgraced dentist and suspected arson. His name is Jack Shepard.
All right.
He's likely the only candidate in history who ran for president while simultaneously running from the law. All of Shepard's political moves had to be conducted off U.S. soil thanks to an outstanding warrant for his arrest issued 25 years prior to his 2008 presidential bid. His alleged crime? Burning his Minneapolis home to the ground. And it gets worse. Shepard also had his Minnesota dental license revoked for a string of violent incidents.
What?
Maybe he just wanted to be president so he could pardon himself and return home without fear of jail time. Anything's possible. Oh,
I guess so.
Goodness gracious. No, that's not crazy enough. Some
Oh,
lady
come
who
on.
was just a Tupac Shakur advocate. So let's see. This man, Homer A. Tomlinson, was a New York City preacher. It's not that strange for a religious leader to run for president. In fact, hundreds attempted to rise to the highest office in the U.S. many times throughout history. The weird thing about Homer A. Tomlinson is how many bids he made. Tomlinson refused to take no for an answer. This New York City advertising professional turned Pentecostal preacher put his name on the ballot for 5 straight elections from 1952 until his death in 68. Religion was the core of his stance. He founded the Theocratic Party and had plans on replacing taxation with tithing and adding.
Tithing? What are you, some sort of heathen?
Yes, I am. I shall be punished.
I will smite you.
And adding new cabinet posts for the Secretary of Righteousness. Now I know what he's going for there. I know what he's going for, but it's just like, it's basically like saying, and this is my secretary for radicalness.
Righteous, dude.
Righteous. And a secretary of the Holy Bible. After losing, he elected...
Okay, here's my question. Why does he need a secretary of the Holy Bible if he's a preacher? Well, what is it? What are you laughing about?
After losing, he elected himself king of the world by donning a painted gold crown and ruling from a hotel room in Jerusalem with a folding chair as his throne.
A folding?
He just had a fucking lawn chair and he put on a Burger King crown.
I just imagine him shouting like, I'm the king of the world. Why aren't you paying attention to me?
Pay attention. Oh my goodness. Now, if he were still alive, I would say Homer A. Tomlinson as my vote. Oh.
If he wore that get up and like sat in folding
here's
chairs
a
all the
picture
time.
of him. And it looks like, because he doesn't look like a typical Pentecostal creature, he's wearing like this long robe with many necklaces and a golden painted crown.
That's amazing. Why did this guy not get voted in?
5
And what
times.
year was this? Like 1950?
1950 to 52 to 1968.
That's
he
crazy.
ran 5 times. Gosh, how did he not ever get elected?
Well, I don't know, Trace.
Oh goodness. Okay, I think this is my last guy.
Okay. Well,
John Hagelin, or Hagelin.
Another John. See, there's another
John.
John.
There's so many Johns in the world. Doctor and transcendental meditator. Meditator.
I thought you were going to say another dentist. I was like, really?
Natural Law Party candidate John Hagelin had a radical solution for terrorism. Transcendental meditation. According to Hagelin, all the world's problem, including terrorism, could easily be solved by getting people together in a room and having them think very hard about a solution. He said that this theory has been tested and proven for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
The reason it hasn't worked before is that there's never enough people ruminating on the problem at once. But if he would have won the presidency in 1992, that could all be different. Too bad we'll never know.
Could you imagine if he won that
in timeline B32?
And then he was right.
He gets everyone in a room. Says, let's think. Okay, everyone. I know we've had our differences in the past, but everyone, put your heads down, close your eyes, and let's just think really hard
about this
and try to figure it out. He seemed to be very, I guess, peaceful, which is
I
neat.
guess so.
It's just like you think you can stop all evil in the world through meditating.
I mean, just sitting there, and if you think about it hard enough, eventually you'll die, and it won't matter.
That's true. If they think about it hard and long enough, they they will all die in a room.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got a pleasant looking face. It's very round and partially bald. So, I mean, it makes sense on why this man is a transcendental meditator.
I have no idea what you mean by that, but
just look him up later. Anyway, I'm gonna kick it over to you.
It's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn. I'm done with all these crazy, insane people.
I loved them.
They were good, especially.
I'm still voting.
Especially Boothead McGee.
I'm still voting Vermin Supreme.
Boothead McGee, as he's known in our friend group. I mean, I'm
as
friends with him.
As he's known by you.
As he's known by me, Boothead McGee has my vote.
Is there a Vermin inferior? Or like a
there's like an anti-Vermin Supreme, and it's Vermin Heartbroken Inferior. And he wears hats on his feet. Oh goodness! All right.
Okay.
What happened today, many years ago, or maybe recently? I don't know.
Well, in 1912, and this is like a big tonal shift. April 15th, the Titanic sank.
Oh. Don't know what jokes I can make about this tragedy.
Well, let's talk about the movie instead, then.
Okay, the movie. I've never seen it.
How have you not seen Titanic?
It's long, and I don't care about Leonardo DiCaprio enough.
All right, have you seen Avatar?
Sadly, yes.
I haven't. See, now
we both have not seen a long, overhyped James Cameron movie.
Yeah.
So the Titanic.
It's fine.
Sank. The great unsinkable ship. Sank today. So many years ago. Have you heard? And this is genuinely not a lie. Have you heard that they're making a second Titanic, like an actual boat, not like a movie?
That seems like a really bad idea. Like you're just asking for it.
Do you think it would kind of be funny if it also sank?
Like in theory, that's kind of funny, but in practice that would be horrible.
Is that irony? Is that like a big irony? Like make a second unsinkable ship? What if they put like little missile things on it to shoot icebergs if they ever to run into them?
It's got like giant arms on the front that like push them away, like some sort of Disney
big mechanical arm.
Yeah, with like rubber, with like those gloves on them, like in cartoons,
like in the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse cartoon.
Yeah.
Okay, that would. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I guess what we're doing is let's think about how we could prevent iceberg mishaps.
How would we make an unsinkable ship?
Okay, definitely big arms.
It's got to be able to float.
It has to float. Has to be made out of metal. It has big old extendo arms. That also could double as propellers. So we could have like a really fast cruise ship.
Maybe you have like a bunch of sticks on the bottom. So if it starts to sink, it like just kind of like sticks into the ground. Like
really long sticks to reach the bottom of the ocean?
Yeah, why not?
They can also retract, so...
Why not? Okay, how about this? How about we just give it really long legs, and it just, like, walks along the bottom of the ocean?
So basically what we're doing is we're making a big robot that's just like... it's a ship.
It's now, like a walker from Star Wars.
What I was thinking, though, is... maybe just instead of like anything fancy, put like a big old like hair dryer, like a huge hair dryer on the front of it, and turn it on just so it melts the iceberg.
Melt it, yeah. Well, that's not good for the environment, Trace.
I mean,
I have a great idea. How about we make it fly and just turn it into a plane?
No, that's just dumb.
Okay, well. So that's what happened today.
I got one more.
Okay, let's hear it.
What if, to make the Titanic truly unsinkable, you disguise it as an iceberg, so that when the other icebergs see it, they don't think that it's the Titanic, and they're not like, okay, let's go sink that ship. They're like,
So you
it's
think
one
that-
of us.
So you think that icebergs are like going after the Titanic?
Well,
Like,
I think. I
specifically?
mean, I don't think. I know that all icebergs are sentient beings that are godlike,
Okay.
that have lived on the
Alright.
planet for thousands of years.
All right, we have a holiday. Are you going to run for president, by the way? Because the way you're sounding right now,
I
it
think
sounds like you
everyone. I guess I should do like some Vermin Supreme type things. Everyone should floss. The dance, not like floss
Yeah.
their teeth.
could. I think everyone should try to floss while flossing.
Now you would need a very long
I
piece
think
of
you
dental
could-
floss.
I think that could kill you.
You might accidentally decapitate yourself with a very thin rope.
Okay.
Let's end it here.
Let's end this.
Yeah, let's just end it. So go ahead and
Let's bring back the guillotine. Am I right?
bring
for
back
this
the guillotine.
podcast.
All right, cut this podcast head off and let us tell you the holiday.
All right. Today's April 15th.
Yeah.
And can you guess what holiday it is?
Is it Titanic Day?
No.
Is it Vermin Supreme Day?
No?
Is it Wear a Boot on Your Head Day?
No.
All right. Well, I have no other ideas.
Just take a wild guess.
Is it April 15th?
It's Take a Wild Guess Day.
Oh. Okay, you got me with that one again.
I've been getting you. I think that's 3 times in a row I've gotten you.
You've gotten me. Okay.
So yeah, I guess
Just pose random questions to people, or like
and ask them to take a wild guess.
Yeah. Well, no. Like when like the most annoying people in the world say, "Guess what I did yesterday?" and then you're like, "I don't know what," and then they say, "No, guess."
You get no guess.
Yeah.
Please do.
Be that person. Turn into that person physically.
Please don't do that.
Well, I mean, you got to get those people to take a wild guess.
I think what you should do is on this holiday is to those people you just give a wild guess.
Punch them. Oh.
No.
Well, that could work. If anyone's like, guess what I did yesterday, and you're like, I don't know, and they say, no, guess. I told you to guess. Just like say the first thing that pops into your head.
Doing your mom.
Say doing your mom, and then they will weep,
They'll cry.
and you've beaten them, and you can absorb their power.
Anyway,
Hey, guess what I'm about to do, Sam?
in this podcast.
In this
wrap it up.
podcast, good one. You took
I
a
did
wild
it.
guess. I'm proud.
I
of
took
you.
a wild guess and it was right.
I'm proud of you. This has been From Our Perspective. Thanks for listening. As always, you could find us on wherever you listen to your podcast. We're on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. You can find us at any of those places at From Our Perspective. If you want to follow us on YouTube, search up Large Lads, give us a subscribe, ring-a-ding-ding that bell. You could also subscribe to us on iTunes, leave us a review, as always, good, bad. We'd like to hear from you. And just download the episodes. That tells us that we have people listening, and it shows that, some people actually care out there. If you like what we're doing and you'd like to hear more from us, we also have social medias where we post many things. For last week, for Draw a Picture of a Bird Day, we posted the pictures of birds that we drew. So that was a lot of fun. Tell us which one was better, because I think my little cardinal was better. But you could find us on Instagram and Twitter at FOP_pod. You could also find us on Facebook at Large Lads. Other than that, we post a new podcast every Monday, but we will see you next Monday. This has been From Our Perspective. I've been Trace.
And I've been Sam.
Bye.
Toodaloo!